Welcome to the Encouraging Word, a place for thoughtful conversation, reflective faith, and encouragement for the journey. I'm Pastor Eric. Wherever you're listening from, I'm glad you're here.
Good morning, beautiful people. This is Pastor Eric, Associate Pastor at Lyndhurst Baptist Church on the west side of Indianapolis, and Indiana State Chaplain for Broken Chains, JC, and this is your encouraging word. We are continuing in our Atonement Theory series, and this week we are looking at Theosis, which helps us understand salvation not only as forgiveness, but as participation in the very life of God. Today's devotion is entitled Salvation as Union with God. Our scripture for today comes from 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 24. He has given us his very great and precious promises, so that through them you may participate in the divine nature, having escaped the corruption in the world caused by evil desires. Many people think of salvation primarily in legal terms: forgiven, acquitted, declared righteous. And Scripture certainly does speak that way, but Scripture also speaks of something even deeper: participation, union, sharing in the very life of God Himself. Peter says we are invited to participate in the divine nature, not become God, but to share in God's life, not replace our humanity, but have it healed, restored, and filled with divine life. This is the heart of what the early church called theosis. Salvation is not only rescue from sin, it is restoration into communion with God. Not merely being spared judgment, but being drawn into life with God. The early church spoke about this with remarkable clarity. Athanasius wrote, "For he was made man that we might become God." Little g. That's from his book On the Incarnation, section 54. Now, Athanasius did not mean that human beings become divine by nature. He meant that through Christ, humanity is brought into living participation with God, sharing his life by grace. Salvation is communion restored. C.S. Lewis helps us understand this relationally. He wrote, "The Son of God became a man to enable men to become sons of God." It's from Mere Christianity, Book 4, Chapter 7. Lewis echoes the same truth in simple language. Salvation is adoption, transformation, participation in divine life. We are not merely pardoned, we are brought near. This is important because many believers live as though salvation only changes their status, but not their experience of God. But the gospel promises so much more. God does not merely remove distance, He shares His life. He does not simply forgive, He indwells. He does not only rescue, He unites. So if you've ever wondered whether salvation is meant to feel distant, if you have thought of faith as only belief rather than participation, if you long for deeper communion with God, hear this encouraging word for today. Salvation is not only freedom from sin, it is union with the living God. And the cross is the doorway into that shared life. Receive this blessing. May you live today aware of the divine life given to you. May communion with God become your deepest joy. May you rest in the grace that not only forgives, but unites. Grace and peace to you, beautiful people.
Thanks for sharing this time with me. I hope these words have given you space to breathe and something steady to carry with you into the rest of your day. Until next time, grace and peace.